After 22 years, Arsenal and Mikel Arteta have finally ended their EPL trophy drought, and I want to congratulate them. I want to congratulate them for reaching this incredible milestone. They deserve their flowers. I'm pretty sure that you asked me that, hey, Nobo, why are you now making this video? The reality is that I was broken. After they won the EPL, I received a lot of messages and a lot of banter from these Arsenal fans trolling me. They were like, you said we cannot win it. You said we are going to bottle it. Shame on you. I also lost some bets against these Arsenal fans. And I have to, fulfill it. But the reality is I was broken mentally, psychologically from the fact that they won the league. I didn't know how to come back from it. But as days went by, I had to accept the reality that, hey, that finally happened. And I have to face this. And aside that too, I had to deal with some personal problems related to school. So I've got them sorted out and I'm now back again. So congratulations to Arsenal on winning the league. What makes this special is the fact that the last time they won the EPL, Patrick Vieira was their captain. Thierry Henry was scoring goals for fun. Arsène Wenger was their manager. They went invincible. And I'm pretty sure that majority of these players averagely were not even in junior high school. They were averaging 7, 8, 9 years, 10 years old. They were around that age. And I'm sure they did not even see the team lift the trophy. Including majority of you fans here. I'm pretty sure majority of you have not even seen Arsenal lift the EPL trophy before until just last week. So it makes this a bit special. It makes it incredible and amazing to reach this milestone. And we should all not forget what they had to go through before reaching here. They had to overcome a lot of setbacks, a lot of hurdles. At a point, they became a banter club. We used to call them the Bride because they had come 3 seasons without winning the trophy, and they were just finishing second in all of them. The first one being the 2022-2023 season, where they lost it to City. The second one being the 2023-2024 season, where they actually led the EPL almost the entire season, and then they lost it to City in the last minute by 2 points. And then the 2024-25 season, Liverpool and a slot won it, and that one they were not close, although they were second, but Liverpool simply got there first and they won it. And this time around, hey, it's like all the football goals were behind them. They led the EPL for majority of the season, and during the second part of the season, it was like things started to go a bit against them, especially when they lost against Bournemouth after the international break. Majority of us thought, oh, we are in for another episode of Arsenal finishing second, because at that time, Man City had gained momentum. They were not losing matches. So we thought they were going to overcome Arsenal and then win it this time around. But we have to commend Arteta and the boys for the mental fortitude to still have the sense of belief that they could make it happen. And they made it happen. I remember in one of the interviews when things were not going well for Arsenal, they asked Arteta how he was feeling and if he had belief. And he was like, I'm on fire. I'm feeling fire. I'm on fire. And truly, he was on fire. See them now emerging as champion. If we trace this journey back, it has not been easy. It's been bumpy, as I said. After winning the league whilst being invincible in 2004, Arsenal became just a club that was actually struggling to get their hands hold of the trophy once again. And at a point, they were even celebrating qualifying for Champions League under Arsène Wenger until he finally decided to part ways with them. Then they brought in some coaches. Some of them were serial winners, but they still couldn't win it. One of them was Unai Emery. After being a serial winner with the likes of Villarreal and Sevilla, he still couldn't replicate that kind of winning mentality with Arsenal. Then they took the bold step to bring in Mikel Arteta. What made it surprising was the fact that Mikel Arteta had not actually managed any team. This Arsenal team was the first team he was managing after serving as the assistant coach to Pep Guardiola. And to come in he didn't get it easy. In fact, he also had his fair share of challenges. The first one having to deal with the big boys. He had to, start afresh. And in doing so, he had to let go of the big egos, the likes of Mesut Ozil, the likes of Aubameyang. Many of the fans were surprised and, they reacted badly to it, but he stood to his guns. He stood on his grounds. He knew what he wanted and he knew the kind of people he was willing to go on that journey with. And that was quite commendable. So he had to let them go. First of all, delivering the FA Cup to calm down the fans. He won the FA Cup to calm down the fans back in 2019-2020 season. So I think that was what gave them that sense of belief. And also, we have to commend the fans and then the board for having that sense of belief in Arteta. Because after the investment they made in him and he kept on finishing second 3 times in a row, if for any other team, he would have been sacked. Especially for Manchester United and then Chelsea. We all claim that we want to build with the manager, we should be patient with them, but immediately results start going south. Then we turn against them. I remember against Van Gaal, we turned on him. Against Ole, we turned on him when results started to go bad, despite finishing second the previous season. But for us not to have that sense of belief in Arteta, it's commendable. It's remarkable. And we have to give the fans and the board to their flowers. It wouldn't happen in a lot of teams. But these Arsenal fans and the management stood beside him and then they gave him the backing that he really deserved. And I'm not surprised that he won it. Many people were against them this season, complaining about the kind of football they were playing, saying it was set pieces, including myself. But the reality is that when you win, people don't care how you win. Now, no one will go back and say that, Arsenal, they won the EPL by simply playing haram football and then winning through corner kicks and set pieces. No one will remember that. We will remember Arsenal as a team that won the 2025-2026 EPL trophy. Another question is, will Mikel Arteta surpass the legacy of Arsène Wenger? And I certainly believe he will do so. The reason is this. Arsène Wenger won just 3 EPL trophies with Arsenal, 7 FA Cups. In the number of years he spent with Arsenal, about 22 years at the club. But Arteta has already won the EPL. He has won 1 FA Cup. And he has a chance to win the Champions League against PSG come Saturday. Personally, if he is able to do that, that is win the Champions League, he has already cemented himself as the best manager in the history of Arsenal. The reason is that Arsenal has never won the Champions League trophy or any European trophy. And doing that or reaching that achievement will set him apart from the previous management, including Arsène Wenger. So for me, certainly, if Mikel Arteta wins the Champions League, he has certainly overcome the legacy of Arsène Wenger. And I personally even believe that if he's able to achieve that, they will have to build him a statue at the stadium, in front of the stadium. Yes, he deserves that. Because if you look at where he took this Arsenal team, they were basically a mid-table team from 8th. And then eventually turning them into champions. And even before they won the league, there was something particular about this Arsenal team. That was the fear factor. Arsenal at first were laughing stock. People were not afraid of them when they faced them. But it got to a point that even the big teams had a sense of fear anytime they face Arsenal. And I think that was the first remarkable thing that Arteta was able to achieve, and he deserves his flowers. And I think if he wins the Champions League, there is no way he's not going to surpass the legacy of Arsène Wenger. Kudos to Arteta, kudos to Arsenal fans, kudos to the management. Congratulations to the entire team and the fan base for reaching this remarkable milestone. They deserve it. They really, really deserve it, and they've proven that patience is the virtue that we must all learn from, and it surely pays. If you believe in what you are doing and you work towards it, you will achieve it. And thanks to you guys who have been supporting me all this, your likes, your comments, your shares. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your loved ones. Also, I'm back again to give you a lot of updates and reaction videos, especially as we enter into this World Cup period and also the transfer window being opening. Man United is trying to build their midfield and you're looking at a lot of players. We shall dive into that. Chelsea, what's happening with them? Liverpool, what's their next step? Are they going to stay with Slot or they're going to sack him? We shall find out. So don't forget to subscribe. Give me a follow if you are watching on TikTok, because it's going to be exciting during this summer. And thank you again for supporting me all the time. Until I see you again, take care and adios. Bye bye.